So, Raincoat came out not even 2 weeks ago, but I felt I needed to talk about this game. If you don't know what Raincoat is an adventure game developed by Spike Chunsoft, with the same team that made Danganronpa. So you can expect it to be pretty similar, right? Oh wait, you don't know what Danganronpa is. Well, to put it simply, Danganronpa is a mystery visual novel, which means it's a game that's mostly text and focused on the story. Danganronpa has been famous in the past, with 2 anime, manga, series games, and a lot of novels. It was known for its story, characters, and murder cases. The overall gameplay was investigating the crime scenes and gathering info so you could use it on a trial that would be crucial to find out who committed the murder. Interesting, right? But we haven't had any new Danganronpa game recently. The last one came out in 2017. But now, Raincoat appears. Okay, so Raincoat is the new Danganronpa? No, it has nothing to do with Danganronpa's universe. Then, why did you mention Danganronpa? What's Raincoat about after all? Well, I'm glad you asked. I mentioned Danganronpa because the formula is similar. But before we get to that, I'll be telling a bit of Chapter 0, which is basically the prologue and tutorial, with no major spoilers. But if you want to have a blind playthrough and start the game knowing absolutely nothing about the story, just skip to the time on the screen. Now I'll explain to you what Master Detective Archive Raincoat is about. This should be obvious by now, but Raincoat is a detective game, and the detectives here work for the World Detective Organization, or WDO for short. The WDO wants to investigate a place called Kanai Ward, which is an isolated city that's out of reach of any government. A big company called Amaterasu Corporation entered the city, developed it, and closed it to the outside world. Nobody can leave or enter if Amaterasu doesn't want them to. For that reason, getting any info from there is quite hard. Not to mention that, since the company controls the whole city, it's up to them to decide which info comes to the public or not. Basically manipulating the people. You play as Yuma Cocohead. Yes, that's his name. Apoiza has amnesia. He wakes up in a room full of weird things, and he seems pretty confused since he can't remember how he got there, and then proceeds to check his belongings, finding a letter which not only reminds him of his name, but also tells he's a detective and should be embarking into a train called the Amaterasu Express. Our protagonist then leaves the room only to realize he was in a lost and found at a train station. So he rushes to the train where he meets the other detectives. They explain everything about Amaterasu Corporation, Kanai Ward, and the WZO, also telling him that they're all master detectives going to Kanai Ward. Master detectives are detectives that develop some sort of special ability that can help them in their duty of solving cases. Pretty similar to the ultimate ability in Danganronpa. As the detectives explain the situation to Yuma, he starts hearing voices, so he feels a weird headache and passes out. When he wakes up, he can finally see the source of the voices, or should I say, voice. You meet this ghost thing called Shinigami, a death god, and it explains to you that you made a pact with it, and in exchange for its help, you gave up your memories. So no, he doesn't have amnesia, he just gave his memories for a death god? And that's the very beginning of the game. The interesting part is that Yuma faces some mysteries while also trying to understand why his past self wanted to be a detective. Since as a detective you experience horrible things such as murder and suffering, and you need not only to endure it, but to investigate it thoroughly in order to reach the truth and solve a case. So Yuma wonders why his past self wanted to be a detective so bad. But, as he says, he'll keep playing detective until he finds out. Well, wiring code has nothing to do with Danganronpa story-wise. You can see some aspects during the gameplay, like how the main method of solving cases is similar. In Danganronpa, you have the class trial. The main mechanics of the trial is breakthrough lies or inconsistencies in other student statements.
No, that's wrong!
The class trial also included other minigames, but it was all about finding out the truth through reasoning or understanding the case better. Just like those surfing things, I don't know why that exists. You see similar gameplay on rank code, but with more diversity and not only rebuttal. After all, in rank code it's more about solving a case than debating. You also have to see the case from the beginnings after you reach the truth, which is good because you understand better some of the confusing parts. So far, I'm loving the game. There are a lot of characters and I'm interested in most of their designs, personality, and abilities. The game shows a different perspective of the same situation by the eyes of many characters. I'm still on the second chapter, but I believe it has the potential to build something amazing and remarkable, just like Danganronpa did. Well, at least it has major graphical upgrades, considering the last Danganronpa 3D game. And the aesthetics of the city is so pretty, mainly with the duo team of a glowing rainy night and a futuristic big city. I know one of them is like a poor and a rich side, but I still think both look awesome. If you're a Danganronpa fan, you'll likely enjoy this game too. It certainly has more gameplay to add since you can walk through the city and complete some side quests. If you're not a Danganronpa fan but enjoy games with cool story, mystery, or murder and detective themes, you should definitely give it a try. And I might make another video after I finish the game, talking about my experience or just telling the full story. But that's for the future. Take care, enjoy life, and farewell.